right, Kels. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Long day at work?
Yeah, long weekend at work.
Well, hopefully it's just only one weekend.
Yes. And next weekend I'm ready to take it off. So
Hey, there you go.
Mhm.
All right, so before working with me, what was your biggest struggle?
I would probably say just like understanding the nutrition side of things and consistency in the sense that I always knew what type of good foods to eat. I just don't think I was really I counted calories, but I didn't actually focus on macros. And I think that made such a huge difference. And also realizing when I ate certain amounts of those macros, how it made me feel.
100%. Like you do a great job of making sure you hit your macros like on the T. Too. I'm like, Kels, you're a little too perfect with these.
And it stresses me out because then I'm like, what if something is not working? And he's gonna be like, well, then why are you going over by 5 grams each time? I'll be like, I don't know.
You know damn well I'm not gonna say that. That's you. You're like, he's gonna say 5 grams, like you know.
I know. I think that's just the, what do you call it? The OCD in me. I'm
Oh,
like, I
see the
have to have
perfection.
things like, well, how if I'm going over all the time, like I think
Yeah.
it keeps me more in line. If I go over too much all the time, then I'm like, you're giving yourself too much leeway there. Like cut it back a little bit.
Pull it back, pull it
Yeah,
back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I would say one of the things that I've seen a shift from you from the beginning from when we started so now is that like you are a little bit more relaxed with it because I think we had conversations, especially talking about mindset, mentality about when you are consuming things, that stress of going over even those 5 calories is kind of
Mhm,
hitting you more than actually those 5 calories.
mhm,
But
mhm.
like I said, you do an amazing job.
Thank
Um,
you.
what have you tried before that didn't work?
So I have tried a calorie deficit before, but I don't think I was looking at it the right way. I was just cutting stuff out and then just obviously I would lose some weight and then I don't think I adequately readjusted every so often or I kind of just kept cutting and kept cutting to make it to where I would keep getting the results that I wanted until it stopped in that sense. And I think that was always the hardest thing is that I never change that mindset that this is something that's going to be long term. Like this is not just, oh, I'm going to, only eat like this for a couple weeks, get to where I want to be, and then go back to what I was doing. Everything is moderation is key. And I think that is the biggest thing that I've been hyping on myself so much that I've finally it's finally clicked in that sense ever since working with you.
Perfect. And that's exactly right. Moderation and it's lifestyle change at the end of the day.
Mhm,
Those fad diets, they come, they go, but moderation, that's what it is. Being consistent every single
mhm,
day and getting better little by little. And
mhm.
then what almost stopped you from starting, if anything?
If anything, I would say what originally was the biggest one was always cost of things. And then I kind of was like, well, you know what? Like, you only have one life and you should be the biggest investment in that life. So that kind of was the switch for me because I genuinely like do not regret any of it. So,
I love it. Yeah, you took that leap of faith, and that's all it takes sometimes effort and leap of faith. And
mhm,
but you're one of the few people that like I like because what you do is like you took that leap of faith, but then you went all in. You didn't take that leap of faith and be like hesitant about it on the fence, like, oh, but I don't want to do this. But you actually like, you know what, I'm gonna put the work in, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I got this.
mhm,
Listen, you
mhm.
follow the plan and the results are coming, you're killing it. And what specific results have you seen since starting the program?
So, since starting the program, I'm down 45 pounds. So, that's been great. I think I've specifically seen a shift in my mindset, which has been so great. I think others have noticed that shift too, not just the change that I've physically made, but the change that I've mentally made. I definitely feel like way before I was in a rut. I was in a really bad place, not just physically but also mentally that I just constantly was putting myself down and I feel like that was such a shift for me over the last like couple months of just being like, no, like this is good. Like you just have to keep doing it every day. And it's really easy to keep telling yourself to get 1% better every day. It's you can keep saying it over and over again until you finally just believe it. And then you're like, okay, because stuff doesn't happen overnight. Like it just doesn't work like that. Like you have to stay consistent. And as soon as you're ready to decide that you want to change it up a little bit, don't, because that's exactly when things start to actually start moving the way you want them to. You have to keep staying on it. Consistency is key.
Love it. Could have said better myself. And then, what was the first moment you realized like this was actually working?
I would probably say like probably after maybe like 2 to 3 weeks, I started to just notice my overall like day to day was getting better. Like I didn't constantly feel tired all the time, even though like I didn't like feel this drastic change overnight. It was just like little things. Like I would always crash in the afternoons, and now sometimes it still happens, but most of the time I'm like I have a little bit more perky energy because then I'm like I get to go to the gym after this. Like I get to see my friends. Like I have stuff that I'm excited to get to after this. I've started to notice that like yes, work is work, but like I actually get through my workday a little bit better because I have more energy and I don't feel just so exhausted all the time. And I feel like it was within a couple of weeks that that kind of started to pick up a little bit more for me.
No, for sure, for sure. I remember you telling me, I feel so good today. I'm like, yeah, I love it. Like
Like
people
it
say,
is just days aren't often.
you, I remember you like, people say I'm nice now. I'm like, what do you mean? You always nice, Kelsey. Like, no, you was me before. You're freaking adorable. I love it. um, Let me see. Okay, how has life changed because of those results?
I feel like my life has changed so much in the last year. And I feel like and it's so funny because I was actually talking to someone yesterday about just, actually, it was my hairstylist. And I was talking to her about, she was asking me how things have been, like that I looked great and what I was doing and all this stuff. And I was like, to be honest, like I have never felt healthier in my life. Like I've exercised my entire life. I'm always been an active person in that sense. I played sports in high school, stuff like that. But I've never felt like I understood now, like what types of foods make me feel a certain way, how I can help fuel myself. Because realistically, yes, we do live in a world where we kind of like, I don't even know the correct word, but we use food as an outlet for a lot of things. Like people get like, I remember like there would be times where I'd just be like, let's just go. Like I would meet up with my friends just to go out to eat dinner. Like it was just always food focused. And I feel like maybe that's just kind of in America a little bit that we're kind of that way. But so I think the shift has kind of changed a little bit for me. That yes, there are still times where I'm like, wow, like you have a craving and I really want something like that, but I've just gotten to the point, especially in the last couple weeks, of just being like, the food I made is the food I'm going to eat, and I'm going to eat it for the next 5 days because I know exactly how I feel after I eat this. And I already made it. One, I'm not wasting the food. Two, I'm not wasting the money it took to make the food. And three, I just have to put it in the microwave. Like, that's all I have to do. And I found little things that, like, I know what certain stuff I like. So I'm not constantly just changing up the recipe because I feel like I need to change it. Like I've been eating zucchini for the last 3 weeks in a row. And to be honest, I'm fine with it. So
No, for sure. But you are also on a special little. We're getting like a super chart right now, so it's not like your typical. But that's perfect though, because like you said, is America is very food focused. I feel like a lot of the world is food focused, but unfortunately in America we don't have as healthier options, or we don't
Mhm.
make as healthier choices with our food, like parties and
Yep.
things of that nature. Funny thing, my last client that we had to like this interview, I was talking to her and she was talking about how like during the holidays, like her family eats all these different type of food that really are really unhealthy. So what she did
Mhm.
this year was she bring her own food. So like she
Mhm.
bring her like
Wow.
and bites and like
Mhm.
her salad and stuff of that nature. And she ate that at the like they're all hanging out, so I have fun. They're like, so that's what you're gonna eat? And she's like, yes. This is what I
Oh,
do now. And she's like, I feel good. Like I'm not. She doesn't feel like peer pressure into like crumbling to everyone else's demands because she feels so good in her body and her own skin to the point where it's just like, this is my choice. Yes.
that's great. I feel like maybe like 2 years ago, I would have been in the very similar situation. And then this last year, my family, I think because of how I've been doing things and how well I've kind of changed my life, that I mean, I hope to think that I inspired them to do that as well because, like, my dad and my stepmom are eating a lot healthier. Like, when I go and have dinner with them, I don't have to worry about bringing my own food because they genuinely eat a lot of stuff that I like to eat too. My sister-in-law's family are doing like a whole thing where they're trying to eat a little bit healthier too, and they're like, we always talk about it when we're over, we share recipes, stuff like that. So I felt like the holidays this year wasn't like bad food. I just had to remind myself not to overeat, to actually just do moderation.
Yeah, enjoy the food, but just in moderation. And that's beautiful.
Exactly.
I do believe it's because of you, Kelsey, honestly, because your energy, your effectiveness, how well it's working for you is just showing all over your mindset, your personality, everything. So, like your body, all of it's just showing to your surrounding area, surrounding people. And you're inspiring, though. So just keep it up. Okay. What do you think made this work when other things didn't?
I would say between consistency and telling myself that even on the days that I really don't want to do it, that those are the most important days and that you just need to do it. Even if you don't do all of or everything or even give it 100%, the fact that you just do it makes a difference. And the accountability. I think like knowing that we had our time before too, like at EOS and everything, that I like you have a little voice in my head now that like when I'm doing stuff, I'm like, all I hear is you in the background, like saying something about my form or saying something about this. And I'm like, if Noel was here right now, he'd be on you about that. So you better fix that. And I'm like, okay, well.
I gotta change it up. Hold on, he's watching me. Posture, Kelsey, posture. Huh? Huh?
Because I feel like as soon as if you were to just ask me, even if you had like just randomly out of the blue, something about like a workout that I was doing, I'd be like, oh, I knew it. He was watching me and I can't lie. So I have to be honest and I have to make sure like, I was like, so if he asked me if I did my wall slides, I can't lie. So I better make sure I do them.
I love it. Uh, but but you always do it, Kelsey. You do a good job of being consistent and like making sure you put in the work, and that's the key
Mhm.
thing right there. And then, what surprised you most about working with me?
I would probably say I don't necessarily think it surprised me because I just felt like we kind of just clicked really well when we first met. But I do feel like there's a lot of stigma around like personal training and that people make you feel like they're, all fit and everything like that. And if you're not kind of in that way, that like, I don't know, that you just will get uncomfortable. And I never felt that way. And I just feel like I always got the vibe that you like actually care. Like you want to see people succeed and it's not just like oh, here's another client that I just have to run through a workout real quick. Like if that makes sense.
No, 100%. Well, I'm glad you got that vibe off me because that's my biggest thing. I do care about people. I want to see you guys succeed. I don't want to just see you guys succeed body wise, but mentally, life
Mhm.
wise, all of it. I want to see you guys live your best life.
Mhm.
One of the main reasons why I do this because when we're like 50, 60, 80, and we're still able to move and feel good and we get to enjoy our grandkids, it's just enjoy being retired, just to
Exactly.
enjoy life. That's my goal. I want everyone to go to be that way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
love it. And then who would you recommend something like this? Who would you recommend this program for?
Everyone or anyone that would be that's interested in like making their life better and wanting to actually step into the fitness world, the nutrition side of things, because I feel like it's not that people don't understand when they're overweight or that they're not eating right or that we anyone that has ever been overweight knows it. They know that they're doing stuff that's not helping their situation. But I think it's the intimidation factor that comes along with going to a gym and being around people that have probably been doing this for years and make it, you always just kind of feel like you're going to make a mistake. And I feel like that is like a really big factor for people. And I think that that would be the best type of person to be like, hey, like, first of all, it's really not scary. And second of all, who cares what other people think? Because it does not matter whatsoever. It's your life. And if they have a problem with it, that's their problem, not yours. So like I feel like anyone and everyone that really wants to kind of just overall make a change in their life just to for longevity and everything would be great for the program.
Perfect. Said it very well, Kelsey. And you're right. A lot of people unfortunately do fall into that intimidation factor. And that's why I hope like when I talk to people, they get that feeling like, okay, he's not judging me and making me
Mhm,
feel like I'm just slob and I'm just making all the mistakes in life.
mhm.
Um, when it comes down to like actually going to the gym and like other people have that fear, like, oh, they're staring at me. They'll all just look at me. Am I doing this wrong? And guidance, I feel like is one of the biggest things. Like having like videos and stuff that show them like this is exercise, this is what you do. Right, helps out tremendously when it comes down to like at least that knowledge, like you're not doing it wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for sure there are still like when I'm doing something new that like I haven't really done before. And I mean, I have experience in the gym, so I do know how to do a lot of exercises, but I feel like I'm always kind of like, am I doing this right? I'm watching the video, it looks right. And then I'm always just like, people are probably like, what the hell is she doing? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm figuring it out. And then like I'll adjust and I'll work with it. But then other times I'm like, if you want to stare, go ahead. You want to try and lift the weight that I'm lifting right now? Because I bet you can't. So that's fine. Go ahead. Like I've had my friends come work out with me now, and none of them even touch the weight that I touch. And they always are like, Kelsey, you're actually insane. I don't understand. I had someone come up to me the other day when I was working out, and they're like, you're a freaking beast. Like, I did not even realize, like, I had someone lift with me, and they were like, how many are you doing of that again? I said, 8. So go ahead, your turn. They're like, 8. I was going to do 2.
You are a beast, Kelsey. You actually are. And that's the thing though. Like you put in the work and you put in the effort and your strength and everything is starting to increase and it's gonna only get higher and better from here. People probably are looking at you like, what the hell is this girl? Like who's her trainer? What is they making her do?
The friends that I had talked to now when I go to the gym, they're always like that. They're always like, you're crazy. And I was like, well, it's not me. I don't make my workouts. That's Noel. And he's like, well, he's crazy too.
Like that guy's crazy. Don't ever think that. Oh God. If you had to describe working with me in one sentence, what would that be?
It's funny because I actually wrote it down so that I would remember how I wanted to word it. And I put that he has made creating habits and understanding this as a lifestyle and not a diet is a lot more obtainable than you think. And you are only as contained in the box that you keep yourself in.
Facts. I love it. I love that sentence, even though it was a compound sentence.
It was. It was a little longer than a regular sentence.
I'm messing with you. I love it. If you were to tell a friend about your experience, what would you say?
I would say that I've never felt healthier. I've never felt better about things. There's still, I mean, I have good days and bad days. That's just life in general, but I have a lot better of an outlet for that. I have a better understanding of some of the things that make me feel better about the day, things that make me feel better body wise from nutrition and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm turning 30 this year, and I've actually never been more excited to start a new decade because I just feel like I'm entering the it's going to be like even better. I used to always like look at the past, and when I weighed a certain amount at some point, when I had lost all this weight years ago, and was that when I was my happiest? And I've come to realize it really wasn't. I was so stuck in thinking about the past, but now I'm like constantly being like, I can't wait for tomorrow. Like I can't wait for this day. I don't constantly think about behind. I'm always looking forward now. And that I feel like that's such a huge shift.
I love it. And like, only get better with time. I used to tell you
Mhm.
all the time, only get better with time, Kelsey. That mentality and that mindset
I
sticking
know.
it's
But
great.
when anyone tells you time is the answer, no one wants to believe it. Nobody wants to hear that it just takes time.
I want it now.
It's also what's kind of, wrong with our society right now. We want instant gratification. It's just,
Everyone wants everything right now. You're absolutely right. And I blame social media, but I'm not gonna get into that because I do social media.
I mean, yes, part of it is in that sense when it's ever since we got cellular devices that could access the internet, it's the instant reply, the instant this. It's kind of what's made it to where it is now. But I will say, like, yes, there are times where I still want instant gratification for things, but then there's other times where I'm like, the delayed gratification made it so much better in that sense. And I'm like, okay, like, all right, it
That's
does
because
just
of the
take time.
lifestyle, actually. When you start to realize, like, looking for the future, getting better with time, that delayed gratification becomes something you actually look forward to and start to enjoy a lot more because the effort and everything you put into it makes the reward so much better. So, like,
Mhm.
that's why I'm so excited for your trip because you've been killing this whole thing for the last 4 weeks. So I know when you go, like, because we take a break off your diet, when we go onto that cruise and you get to enjoy yourself and go wild and just have fun, obviously
Mhm.
you're still going to be healthy, still going to do the right things, but
Mhm. Mhm.
oh, you're going to have that, yeah, it's over, I did it. That delayed gratification just makes it so much better.
Exactly. 100%.
I love it. Well, thank you, Kelsey.